you have essentially two options of you know, or other things that you want to do are possible as well. You know, we're sort of saying you can call the legislators, or you can postcard. You can send them postcards or notes, or you know, if you have thank you cards or whatever you want to use, you can write out, you know, or type something up on and mail it as a letter as well. But we're saying postcarding here. As you will have gathered, our aim is to encourage them to take action to get these bills heard. This is, you know, we have a certain amount of time to do this. Many of you who follow the process know that crossover is coming up very quickly. That is the date by which a bill, in theory, must pass one of the houses in order to, you know, to continue on. But in fact, as I've learned, the rules are one thing and the way things work is another. So what can certainly happen, even if these bills do not pass in the immediate future, which in the House, which is the most likely to pass them, then there is still the possibility that something could be taken up in the Senate. And by taking a bill that has passed one of the houses that nobody actually wants to move forward, and then putting that into committee, cleaning it out, putting in a whole new text, and sending it forward. The rules are there, but they don't necessarily actually govern the process. It's kind of interesting. Moreover, this is a long game. It's important in this redistricting year, when people are really paying attention to this, that we make it clear where the League and our many allies in this fight, where they stand, and ask for action. And I should say that one of the principles of reaching out to legislators is that the more difficult it is, the more work that goes into the contact, the more likely they are to pay attention to it, the more weight they give to it. Obviously, they're most interested as well in hearing from their own constituents. But one of the challenges that we have is that, you know, our state is the people are divided in where they live, and many of the people that are, you know, advocating reform, the legislators are also advocating reform. But the converse is unfortunately true. So, but when you're talking to the leadership, anybody can contact the leadership, whether it's the chairs of the committees, or the Speaker of the House, or the President pro tem, or the majority leaders in the House and Senate. I mean, these are all people who can, you know, who can take action if they want to, and it's important from our side to press them to do that. It's up to them whether they do it or not. Now, you should have received some short scripts and even shorter text and lists of contact information. And these are guides. You know, we're going to be doing like a half-an-hour training or so in going into a little bit more depth on the bills, so people feel comfortable with them, and going over, for example, the process as to how the redistricting actually happens. I think a lot of people don't really know what the steps look like in the legislature, you know, but you should also feel very comfortable. You know, if you want to use a different script, you want to vary the script to make it something that you're really comfortable in saying, or writing, or whatever, that's fine. We do strongly encourage you, however, to be polite, be you know, favorable. Don't harass them, because that's just going to get their backs up. It's not going to encourage them in any way to come over and support this you know, support this kind of change. So writing and calling are the most effective, because those really show commitment on the part of the voter, rather than, you know, any kind of mass email tends to not make it through the spam filters. And even if it does, they know that those are just a click thing. And if they see that personal touch, that really, you know, that carries more weight with them. And we also have distributed a document called Information on Redistricting. That includes a one-page summary at the end of the final page. The fourth page of that is a list of the bills and some of the key provisions under each one, so that if you want to get involved, you know, if you get involved in a conversation and you have a chance, you'll have some information there that can help you, you know, in making the case. Although, as many of you know who are experienced callers, when you call, you usually, you know, you're usually leaving a short message for them, talking to their legislative assistant. I should ask for the legislator, but you know, may not hear from that person. They don't have to take our calls, especially if you're not a constituent. But nonetheless, they will log those calls in. They will note that someone has called, and that they're a North Carolina voter, or league member if you're a league member, or representing another group, as the case may be,